Welcome to Social Media Meltdown. This week, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caitlin.
And Caitlin, I hear that you have a survival guide this week well, I mean, you went camping, you learned some things, and I'm going camping next. What is our social media survival guide about?
Well, it's not just social media survival guide, but also a tech survival guide, and really just a survival guide for people like us that are going to places that don't have 4G, because that's survival in itself. So you don't really necessarily have to be in the wilderness, but I was in the wilderness, so I guess I'm gonna focus more on that. However, the fact that on my way to the wilderness, when I got out of the 4G zone, life was scary.
Even 3G is scary when you compare it to 4G.
Or Edge.
Or Edge is really scary. Have you ever seen the icon that was just O, I think it is?
Yes, I have that as well.
That's awful.
I was going to screen cap, like, my levels of signal.
Just dwindling away?
North. So for everyone's background, this is going to flip me around all over. Is this correct? Can you tell?
Yeah, that's correct. You're right.
People that are from Michigan, they got the lower peninsula. No, I think that's this way.
No, you're doing it wrong. Yes.
I can't tell because the camera flips
I know, the camera does crazy
lower
things.
Peninsula.
Yes?
Upper peninsula.
Yes.
We live down here.
Yep. Your upper peninsula is on the wrong side.
Anyways, whatever. I drove all the way to the northest section of the UP, so all the way up there.
Yeah, there's the little known part of Michigan that is just the top of the state over by Wisconsin. It's like way higher up than anywhere else other than Alaska, I think.
Like the total population of the UP is less than the population of the city of Detroit.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean,
it's like more than half the size of this, or it's like almost the entire same square footage, whatever you want to say.
It's like it's as big as Britain.
It's huge.
It's huge.
The UP is actually. It is a huge piece of land, and no one lives up there. And that's why I had such a hard time, because life is scary when there aren't people on internet.
It's true.
You go to cafes, and there's no free Wi-Fi. And when you ask for the password, they just stare at you.
And then you ask for a latte, and they just give you a black coffee and say, we don't have any of that fancy stuff.
Yes. So, let's start talking about some of the biggest issues I ran across.
Okay, So
the biggest issue was social media related, in terms of not being able to update in real time. Because I'm a big real time updater. Like, if something pops into my head, I want to tweet it now. So something would pop into my head, and I would grab my phone, and I would type it, and I'd hit send, and it would say error, saved in drafts. What am I going to do with that?
I don't know. And it's
like 4 hours from now, when I finally have service.
It's not even part of your train of thought at that point.
Exactly. So, but I found a way around it. Well, I remembered a way around it. Back when I first joined Twitter, I don't know why, but I had unlimited text, so it didn't really matter. I had all the people I followed tweets be sent via text message to my phone.
Yep.
That got real old after about a year.
Only a year.
At first I loved it. I was like, oh my god, my friends are so awesome. Yeah, and then they're not that interesting. So anyway, I still had Twitter saved as a contact in my phone. So then I was able to tweet or text my tweets, which was great, because I was still able to do everything in real time just without pictures. So I could do text.
So that's a good, it's that 040404 number, I think it is.
I believe so.
So that actually will tweet right out to your Twitter account. If you have your Twitter account attached through a phone number, you can use that to tweet back and forth. You could even direct message that way. If you type 040404 and then DM at Caitlin Shelby, then you can actually direct message. That's how I mean, before there were Twitter interfaces and before a lot of phones had apps for Twitter, that was actually easier than going to the mobile site and tweeting. And that's how I started using Twitter also back in like 07 or whatever. But that was one of the reasons I needed to get unlimited text messaging, because Caitlin was texting so much.
I remember that.
And it cost me
you had to get unlimited.
I should have prorated you the amount that it cost me, because it was multiple hundreds of dollars worth of text.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Well, and now that seems that 40404 number seems to be kind of a dying technology. No one really uses it because everyone's got the apps and the. Actually, the mobile site works really well, but in places where I got the less than edge, which I think means oh no.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't stand for any technology. It just goes, oh no, I'm not loading data for you.
So then I was able. Thankfully, I was not in a location where I had no signal. At least I wasn't there for a long period of time. There were times I didn't have a signal. But most places, I picked up some form of a signal, at least to be able to send text messages. So I did resort to that, and it worked pretty well.
But that's a good tip, if you want to tweet and you don't have a good data connection, you can still tweet using the SMS technology. It's tried and true, and if it comes down to it, you can actually use most of Twitter's functionality doing that. And there's no ads.
No, there's none. It's very simple. It's minimalistic.
It is. Actually, because ever since they redesigned Twitter, my direct messages just don't work the right way. Have you noticed that with your direct messaging on Twitter? Like, you'll check it. Yeah, like, it's like you check it, and then you could check it a day later on a different computer, and it'll still say you have a new notification. It doesn't refresh. So I actually switched it so when I get a direct message, it messages my phone, so I know that I'm getting a direct message. So I actually still use the technology.
That's good. I use it only for when someone mentions me, because I'm that vain that I need to know immediately.
Wow.
Someone mentions me.
That is incredible. Do you have it email you too?
No, I have it email me when someone follows me.
Really? You follow that stuff?
Yes, because I do. I like to see who's following me, and since I use social media a lot for networking, if someone follows me, and I'll check out their profile, see what they're all about, if we have similar qualities.
That's a good idea. So, okay, so we got Twitter figured out. What's next?
Throw something at me.
Well, what about Facebook? I mean, how did you survive without Facebook? By the way, I'm asking you not because I'm never going to use this stuff. I'm going camping in 2 weeks. And I need to figure all this stuff out. So how am I supposed to go on Facebook?
Facebook was sad.
It's dead to you when you're out in the nature?
It was really sad to me.
Oh no.
I have to admit that you have to have a pretty good data connection to use the app. I did find that a weaker data connection, the mobile website worked better. But it's still pretty hit and miss. If you're not at least flying with the 2G, then...
So you gotta at least have an edge connection, otherwise it's pretty useless?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I can get over not having Facebook, because it's fun to log into Facebook like you haven't been there in a long time, and then you get all your notifications, you're like, oh, people like me, this is great.
And I've said this multiple times during the show that I'm not really a big Facebook user. Mm-hmm. I use it to post pictures and catch up with people, but when I'm on vacation, Facebook isn't really something, because I don't post my every thought. I don't think my family members care or would understand if I was like, cheese is good. However, if I say cheese is good on Twitter, I'll get like 20 people saying, yeah, cheese.
Yeah, cheese, of course.
But I don't think...
okay, so Facebook's not your cup of tea, if you will. But what about Instagram then? Because that's something, you're on vacation, you're taking pictures. I mean, of course you're going to want to be using Instagram and letting all your social networking buddies and Instagram people find you and comment and heart and favorite and like or whatever.
So I had a love-hate relationship with Instagram.
Oh, no.
Way. It didn't always... it didn't work on my phone. I don't know why. So I was using... my boyfriend's phone to do to upload pictures to Instagram. However, I couldn't do it in real time, so I would have to take it and then later on in the day, be like, hey, can I use your phone? And then I would do it. So two things happened. One, I feel like my Instagram feed got better because I was paying more attention to what I was posting and putting more thought into it. Is this one really necessary? I really don't want to post 7 at once, so no, I'm not going to post this one. So I feel like I was posting better quality pictures, whereas normally I'll just take a picture of anything and post it on Instagram.
That's true. I don't have Instagram, and the reason is because I saw the stuff you were posting, and I'm like, oh great, this is what Instagram's for. I'm never using it.
It's not as bad as it was. I tried really hard to stay up with things. But then the bad thing is that some of the stuff I saw was really, really funny, and I wanted to post it right away. Like when I saw the bear bait sign.
The bear bait.
I tweet about it because I just had to tell people right now. And I couldn't post the picture because my phone wasn't cooperating. I don't know why. My phone just did not like Instagram while I was gone. I was able to... The other thing was my iPad worked perfectly, flawlessly.
Really?
Yeah, because I have 2 different carriers. And
So you have a 3G iPad then?
what was it?
Your iPad's on a 3G connection, 3G data connection? Okay.
Yep, I have Verizon. So that's kind of embarrassing because then I was kind of getting desperate. So I was like pulling my iPad out places and taking pictures. That's always awkward.
Oh my gosh. Were people looking at you like you're crazy?
Yeah, I was like, because not only am I like that city freak that's, got these fancy...
I'm sure you were dressed up. Yeah.
And I get out at the rest stop and I'm like, oh my god, there's bugs all over the grill of my car. And then we want to geocache, which is a whole nother subject.
Oh gosh.
Which is a very disappointing subject. So we'll do that one next.
Okay.
But then I got all these, country folk looking at me, and I'm holding my iPad up, taking pictures of signs and waterfalls.
It's funny how driving north in Michigan actually makes it seem further like country south. It's kind of like that.
It is.
It's not like their accent gets more Midwestern, it actually gets less.
Yes.
Kind of weird.
Okay,
so disappointing thing.
All the really awesome things that technology does in the wilderness. Because I feel like I already hit on all the negative stuff, or at least a lot of the negative stuff. And I don't want to make it sound like it was a really negative experience, because I was really proud of myself for unplugging and doing something new and putting some of that stuff down. I actually felt a lot better, anxiety-wise. So I want to move into all the really awesome things that technology brings to the wilderness. How's that sound?
All the awesome things technology brings to the wilderness.
Yes.
Okay.
So wilderness and technology seem like polar opposites, but they do complement each other really, really well. And my favorite and best example of that would be geocaching.
Okay.
Which is my new favorite hobby.
Geocaching. Now, for mere mortals like myself, what is geocaching?
Geocaching has a really, detailed explanation, and people get really into it and whatever. And when I try to explain it that way, it doesn't make any sense to people. So I like to say modern day treasure hunting.
Okay, so
more like pirates. That's, modern day.
That's kind of cool. All right, I can get into that.
Modern day pirates.
How do you do it?
Okay, so basically, geocaching is someone takes a. I'm trying to find one around here. I don't have one. Okay, so someone takes a water-sealed Tupperware container. This is just a box.
Okay.
So don't mind me. And they'll put, you print out from geocaching.com or geocaching.org. I guess I should have found that out. Anyway, so you can print out geocaching.com. So you print out a registry list, which is just a piece of paper, and it says name and date, and you put it inside your box. And then you also put a little trinket inside your box. And then you go and hide it somewhere.
Okay.
When you go and hide it, so say I hide it in my front yard, which would be creepy because I don't want people in my front yard. I take my phone, or they have special GPSs as well, and I basically pinpoint where I'm leaving this. And then I leave a description on it's hanging in the tree, or it's underneath the rock by the pine tree. Since the GPSs will only get you within 20 feet or so from it, you have to give them a little bit of clues to be able to find it. And you have to hide them so that normal commoners don't find it and throw it away. So when you find one, you open it up, you sign your name and the date on the log, and then you take the trinket that's inside, and then you put a new one, your own, inside. So you have a trinket that is unique to you. So some people print out business cards that say like their name, and then geocaching is actually, geocaching.com is actually a social website. So you can go on there and see all the places you've been, and meet the people that you've already found their hidden treasures, and it's really awesome. So anyways, there are millions, I don't want to say millions, okay, hundreds of thousands all over the country. Actually, I'm on their website. There are 1,008,026 whatever. I don't know. There's over 1 million geocaches in the world, or in the United States. Sorry, and 5 million geocachers worldwide. So this has been really popular over the last probably 8 to 10 years since GPSs really started getting big. In the past, you would have to go online and find the coordinates, and then plug them into your old GPS and then go find it. Whereas now, with all the data on GPSs, you can just do it all in an app.
So geocaching has been around for a while. I think, didn't Annie HP on Twitter, wasn't she a geocacher? Didn't she do stuff like that too?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I've been doing it for a couple years.
Okay.
I did it when my family vacationed in California, and I really didn't think it was that great. However, my boyfriend and I over the last 2 years have really gotten into it, and this vacation that we had, we thought it would be a great way to enjoy nature even more and still be able to be on our phones. We were in a couple state parks that each state park had over 10 geocaches in them. So the geocaches will list the difficulty and the size of the package. There's some packages that only have a roster list on them, and they'll be about the size of a quarter.
Oh no.
And they'll hang them in trees, or some of them are magnets, and they'll stick them like on the metal underneath benches. People will actually bury them, put them in holes of trees.
So where did you hide yours?
We didn't hide one. We just found them.
Oh, so you're just a taker. You just take it all for yourself. Was there anything cool? Did you find anything great?
Not really. They're usually just like little things that people buy in bulk. We did find, I think they're called roamers, but I'm not positive. You can buy them from the geocaching.com website, and they look like a dog tag, and it has a serial number on it. And so you take it out, and you either go through the website or the app, and you enter in the number, the serial number that's on there, and then log the location, and then you take it somewhere else. And so then you can actually watch it online, move all the way around the world or all the way around the state, however far it gets.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I would never be a person to hike, but now I've been all over hiking and waterfalls and forests and state parks, and it's kind of cool. I mean, it's nature doesn't really interest me, however this does, so it's kind of a way to introduce people like me back into the wild.
Kind of makes you nature-y.
Yeah.
It reacquaints you with the wild. That's really funny.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're out camping, or if you're taking a trip somewhere, I mean, you can even do it in the city. There's tons of them in the city. And I actually find that the ones in the city are harder to find.
Oh, yeah?
They'll be the little ones that are stuck underneath benches. Or we found one that was a fake padlock, and the back of the padlock would open, and it would have the log inside. And then it was stuck to a fence, but the fence was rusted, and the fake padlock was rusted the same color, and it was only about, like, yay big.
Oh my gosh! So I didn't know geocaching was a big thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, I didn't realize it was either, but it's like everywhere we go, like, we'll be at a restaurant and be like, you want to geocache after here? Sure. So you just open the app and then hit find caches near me. And then it'll tell you, I think it goes all the way out to 5 miles if there's one within 5 miles of you.
I wonder if there's some near me.
Maybe.
I'm going to check out right now. Where do I go? Geocaching.com?
Yep.
So
I don't know if you search them on the website, or you might have to use the app to find them.
They make you use the app? That probably seems
no,
right.
you don't. In the right on the homepage, it'll say search for interesting geocaches.
Can I search by zip
code?
Oh, zip code. All right.
So yeah, that's what.
Oh my gosh, there's a ton around me.
Yeah. And then people will go in there and leave comments this one's no longer there, can't find it, stuff like that. It's really awesome.
Wow.
Really gets you in tune with nature.
I don't know about all that stuff.
So then if you're a nature person and you're going to the city, a lot of times these geocaches will be placed in real big tourist areas, and your clues, one of the cities we stopped at on our way, we looked for geocaches, and there was only one in that city, so we clicked on it. And the clue gave the story about how this rock, where the geocache was part of was formed by a glacier, and it gave the whole history about this really impressive rock. So then we drove to the rock, and then you had to go around the west side of it, underneath a tree, and then you found the cache.
Awesome.
So they give a lot of tourist information. A lot of state parks will put them along hiking trails to get people to start hiking more. And it's really worked for me. It's awesome. I love it.
So who makes money? Who makes money off of this?
I don't know. I mean, because you could print all the stuff for free, buy your own Tupperware somewhere else. You can buy official ones through the website.
See, now the ones in the city seem to be smaller, because they're trying to hide them better, and they have the
one out in the forest that was this big. You can't even see both my arms.
Oh my gosh!
It was huge. It was just a huge Rubbermaid container. It was half buried, and then it had brush thrown on top of it.
That's awesome.
I also find that there's a lot of them at rest stops along the expressway.
Oh, well, that's a great place to cache stuff.
Yeah, so then when you go there to go to the bathroom, and then you can just look for a geocache.
Oh, no.
So that's a great one. I also want to plug 2 products that I bought before I went. I recently purchased a new digital SLR.
Ooh.
But I knew that we were going to be, we were running a boat, and we were going hiking by these waterfalls. Two different occasions, we were going to 2 different waterfalls. I knew there'd be a lot of swimming and diving and cliff diving and all that stuff. So I wanted to be able to take pictures, but I didn't want to have to stay away from the water. So I bought this Dick-A-Pack. It's by Dick-A-Pack anyway. And it's like a plastic bag, basically, like a really thick plastic. And then it has 2 Ziplocs.
Ooh,
and it
yeah.
has 4 things of Velcro, and you roll and zip and roll and zip and Velcro and zip and roll. And then your lens fits through. It has a lens adapter, so no matter how many lenses or what length lens you want to put on, you can screw them off.
So,
different ones on.
Can it go underwater, or is it just water
Go up to
resistant?
18 feet underwater.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I unfortunately did not stick mine underwater.
Good plan.
I could not bring myself to do it. I really, really wanted to, and I had intended on doing it because I wanted to review it, but I couldn't do it.
I don't blame you.
I got up close and personal with people swimming and little kids splashing and people jumping in the waterfalls, and I got right up underneath the waterfall. And I mean, it got pretty wet. I just did not totally submerge it.
I don't blame you.
The camera was absolutely fine. I didn't have to worry about water getting on the lens from people splashing. So it still worked out, even though I didn't completely submerge it.
Wow, that's excellent.
I got to enjoy my camera, and I got to enjoy nature.
So was it hard to take pictures through the plastic?
No, the only issue is that because the camera, obviously you zoom by twisting the lenses.
Yeah,
You had to put it on full automatic and you can't zoom.
that makes sense.
So, not really a big issue. I just put it on automatic, took all my pictures. They look like crap. I opened them in Photoshop and I cropped them all down so it looked like I was where I was supposed to be. So not really that big of a deal. It just needed some extra photo editing in the end. But no big deal. My camera's still alive. Not wet.
Not bad. So would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I would give it a thumbs up. And then it also gives you the peace of mind, even though I didn't submerge it underwater, it comes very highly rated, so that if I did fall and I dropped it in the water, it'd
be fine. So do you feel after using it for a couple of days here, almost over a week really, do you feel that if you dropped it in the water, it would be safe?
Yeah, I feel like it'd be okay. I mean, the one place we were cliff diving and just swimming at the bottom of a waterfall, the bottom was really rocky, and then you would hit like a huge date patch. And so although I was trying to avoid those, I still walked around and swam around, did whatever. I just held it up, and if it went underwater, it went underwater. It wasn't going to be a big deal because, it was in the bag, and I felt like it'd be okay, but I couldn't intentionally do it. I'd let it happen if it was going to happen, but I couldn't do it myself.
I don't blame you.
However, we also bought Beats, which is by Seal Line. They have them at a lot of outdoor stores, like camping places. I don't know. I've never really been to one until right before we left. So anyway, once again, ridiculously thick plastic, huge Ziploc. It fits your iPhone or BlackBerry. Any touchscreen phone fits in there. It comes in a couple different sizes. You can touch it through the bag, and it's plastic on both sides, so you could take pictures. I don't know, talk on the phone, tweet, Instagram if you're ever so lucky. A whole 9 yards. It does anything. This one we did put underwater with an iPhone in it, and it survived. We actually took video of had someone cliff dive recording themselves all the way to where they went underwater and came back
Super
up.
Cool.
Yeah. So this one I definitely give a really big thumbs up. It's got 2 hooks on it, so we did a lanyard. Someone had a carabiner. So this worked perfect. So you can enjoy your phone and go swimming. Canoeing, this would be perfect if you're going to go canoeing.
Now, what company makes that?
Seal Line.
Seal Line?
Yeah, like SEAL.
Okay.
LINE.
There you go. Cases for phone. And that's a big thumbs up, and it's fully tested. And Caitlin approved.
I approve. I put my iPhone in. I put my factory unlocked iPhone inside here. So something I don't have insurance on.
Very, very impressive.
So that one I also give a really big thumbs up to.
Good deal.
Yes. And then there's a couple other things that I'll post in the show notes. There's I have one other one.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Okay.
Okay, we weren't really prepared because we had never been out of the city really as a couple. So this was just a whole.
So was your boyfriend really prepared, or were you super prepared because you've never been out of this city?
Well, I bought the camera thing. He bought us both of these, so that was his doing. And then for Christmas last year, because I knew we were going to start doing a lot of outdoorsy things this summer, I bought him a Voltic backpack. And Voltic, VOLTAIC, is a company. They're a pretty small company. They make solar panels. So I bought him a backpack that has solar panels on the outside. I wish I had it here so I could show it. But it has all the adapters for smaller electronics, the Kindle, iPad, iPhone, all other phones. It has mini USB so I could charge my camera. It has a bunch of different adapters, but it's all more like the low voltage stuff. So anyways, it's a backpack. It's got solar panels down the outside. Then on the inside, the wires feed into a box that collects all the electricity, the energy, and then you can plug things into it. So even if he just charged that box and then later we wanted to charge something else, then we could do that. But it worked. It worked great. We used it while we were hiking. We used it while we were on the boat, so that we could charge his phone and still listen to music at the same time, and that worked really great. And the Voltic, all the Voltic products have really awesome reviews. They're a really small company. I'm not sure why, because their products are just absolutely awesome. You can look at their stuff at volticsystems.com. So VOLTAIC systems.com. They have awesome customer service. We were having issues basically with, I didn't know how to use it, and I don't really read directions. So we had tweeted at them how we were confused, and they gave us a phone number to call. We got to call them and work everything out, and we had a really positive experience with them and the product. So I give them 2 thumbs up as well.
Very nice. So 3 awesome products.
3 awesome products.
I like that.
There's some other stuff that we researched, like a camping stove that will charge your phone. There's an app called, what is it called? I'll have to look at it. I think it's called Survival or something like that. And it'll have survival skills if you get lost. But I feel like if you're lost, your phone's not going to stay charged much longer. So I'm not sure how good those are going to be, unless you have the solar panel as well. So I can list all those in the show notes, but I don't have any personal testimonials for those, so I just thought they were cool.
Good deal. Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad you had all that great stuff, because I don't have very many good things.
I was prepared for this trip, and I mean, we were living in a cabin. It's not like I was sleeping in a tent or anything.
See, that's my camping. I'm going to be in a tent. I know.
Electricity.
I don't know. I'm going to bring one of the solar charging things and the little thing that, creates some energy with my hand. The crank thing. And maybe I'll bring a flare just in case things get really crazy.
Yes. If you have the extra money to shell out for a Voltic, I highly recommend it.
That sounds like, how much was it?
They're not terribly expensive. But I can look it up as soon as I find their website again. Here it is. The one I got, you can buy just the chargers.
Uh-huh.
I got the Fuse 4-watt solar charger, and that was $129.
It's basically a bag with a solar panel on it.
Yes. So I take it back. I actually got just it's a bag, but it's not the full backpack, and it snaps onto a backpack.
And what one did you get?
Huh?
What one did you get?
It's the Voltic Fuse 4-watt solar charger.
Oh my gosh! So $129, and that worked well enough for you?
It worked awesome. And here it shows 1 hour in the sun gets you 3 hours of talk time. But if you charge the battery pack that I was talking about, you'll get 19 hours of talk time or 48 hours of music playback. And it charges things from phones, iPads, cameras, handheld gaming systems, GPSs. Yeah, and it's waterproof as well. So not submerging, but
water resistant. That's awesome. Wow, these bags can get expensive.
They can.
$400 for a generator solar laptop charger. Ooh, but it looks like looks like it's a pretty hefty bag, and you can charge a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. Might be worth it.
It might be worth it. They actually have, if you go to their website and click their blog, Barack Obama was seen a couple weeks ago with the big Voltic backpack with the full solar charger, which I'm assuming charges laptops and such. He was getting on Air Force One.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny.
See, I want to get the solar tablet case, but I need a tablet to put in.
The thing that makes me nervous about that is that even with your tablet in a case, if you just leaving your phone in a bag in the sun, it gets really, really hot.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. Maybe,
So-
yeah, that's something to think about. Well, we'll check it out. I don't know. I might at least buy like maybe some of the smaller ones just to charge a device, just in case of emergencies. Might be worth to have in your car too.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool deal.
So,
Well,
this show was basically just a plug.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you did that stuff. You gave me some ideas for my camping adventure in 2 weeks from now.
I hope you survive.
I hope so too, but if I don't, you'll have to go on without me. Promise me you'll keep
really
doing.
Interesting show. I'll be like, Kaylin, what do you think about Twitter? And I'll be like, I love Twitter.
Why did you get the deep voice?
I don't know.
That was weird.
I'm really bad at voices. I don't know.
You have to, if I don't make it back, because this is the last show I'm going to record. Next week I'm in Harrisburg, and the week after that I'm going to be camping, and it's going to be a little crazy. You better carry the show on when I inevitably don't survive.
I'll be a very suitable co-host.
Yes, find
One
one.
that holds his weight.
At least do that for yourself.
One that does his homework and doesn't outsource his work to other people.
Yeah, well, I'm an ideas guy. You knew that. I mean,
Instead, all I get is the weekly call.
you
Let's
get.
talk about.
Well, no, you also get the hey, are you coming on the show? Hey, are you down? Of
I'm
course.
always here. It's my excuse to leave work.
Good idea.
Got a podcast.
I get out of the way. I'm doing a podcast. Very important. Anyway, thank you for listening. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at SpeedF40 for me.
And I'm at Caitlin Shelby.
At Caitlin Shelby, the wonderful Caitlin Shelby. Thank you very much for your wealth of internet knowledge that you transferred into nature and then back again. And
Say it's more about my survival skills.
really, it's your survival. I'm so happy you survived. You can email us if you have any survival tips or have a suggestion for the show. Email us at socialmediameltdown@justcoolenough.com. Again, that email address is socialmediameltdown.
At justcoolenough.com.
Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Have a great week. Yeah.